Hello, my loves. Welcome back to Chemistry with Kismet Tarot. I am Monica, the Kismet Chemist, and I want to open first with saying thank you so much to everybody who has been so patient and who has reached out and checked on me to make sure that I'm doing all right, to make sure I'm healing well. It has been really hard for me to be away, to not be filming on a regular basis. I have really missed this. I have missed channeling and bringing these messages forward for you guys. And I just am so grateful for everybody who has really been there and really, looked out for me and sent their well wishes and their prayers. So, first of all, thank you guys so very much. Now, I just finished my new office. So as you can see, the setup is different. We've got a new table, and the energy is just so much more vibrant and alive and amazing in this room. I hope you guys can genuinely feel the new energy that we're working with here together because, wow, you guys, I am just overwhelmed. That is actually how I spent my recovery time because it's one of those things they actually encourage when you get a concussion. You can't really spend a lot of time on the computer or watching TV or reading books. And if you guys know me well enough, you know those more so, computers and reading, taking those away has been really a challenge for me. So what I could do was I could, renovate. And I did. I overhauled my entire office. It is almost done. There's just a few more steps. My meditation space and sacred altar space is still in the works. It's still being completed. However, all that aside, I do hope that you guys can feel this infusion of new energy because it definitely has infused my spirit, my heart. So let's get into what we're discussing here today. So we have 4 piles, and what the concept of today's reading actually came from me finding this crow feather and how many different layers of meaning it really was just finding this feather in and of itself. Before I continue, I do want to apologize for my nails. With all the painting and everything that I've been doing, I still have paint covering my nails. I do have an appointment to go get my nails done tomorrow, but I wanted to make sure that I got all the painting in my office done first. Anyway, so this crow feather, crows have deep, rich symbolism that span generations and across all different kinds of ethnicities and belief systems. They are eternal, everlasting birds with the symbolism that is tied to it. For me, it brings me back to Norse mythology. And considering I work with Odin and Freya quite closely, it does not surprise me that that is the draw for me. However, I want you to think about what the crow symbolizes in your life. They are very keen, very intelligent, but they also are very insightful creatures. And we think of them in such a negative light too often. And I think that this is something that we happen to do a lot with many things, many people, many situations. We paint it in a specific light based off of our perception. That is a big factor here because throughout the collective, there are so many different layers of energies going on. We've got 3 planets that are now retrograde. We've got Pluto, Saturn, and Neptune are all retrograde. We just had the super full moon in Capricorn, and we have Chiron going retrograde and Jupiter going retrograde, both in the month of July, actually coming up in the next week to 2 weeks. Those 2 are going to go retrograde. Uranus follows in August, and then we have Mars's retrograde in October. As you guys know, if you've been here long enough, you do know I am working through all the retrograde guidebooks. I will be taking some time off Next week, I'm going to be traveling, so I will be focusing primarily on writing and not recording. So I did want to get you guys a video before I left. This reading is all about the layers of energy that we're working with, but also the layers of energy and who you are internally, helping you connect to what is hidden beneath the surface of who you are presenting yourself to the world. A lot of this is deeply tied to Chiron's retrograde, so please watch for the retrograde guidebook to come out. If this reading resonates, because I have the feeling that if this resonates very deeply, that guidebook is going to be so incredibly helpful to get you through, and it is a 6-month time span, so it is a good chunk of the year that we're going to be working in this retrograde season. I want to give you guys the time to look over the cards. Each of the cards has a crystal. Pile 1, we have a raw jade crystal. Pile 2, we have a raw labradorite crystal. Pile 3, we have a raw black obsidian crystal. And pile 4, we have a raw bloodstone crystal. So I'm going to give you guys the time to look over everything, really get a feel for the energies, get a feel for the images, and then whatever image calls to you, that is the one that is your pile, your messages, to let you know what it is that's hidden beneath the surface. So I'm going to give you guys the time, and then I will see you guys at your piles. The timestamps will be in the description box below. And you guys know the YouTube-y things. If this resonates, please feel free to hit the like button, share it, subscribe to my channel so you don't miss any of my upcoming videos, and don't forget to hit the notification button so you know when I upload next. It has been pretty sporadic, so that notification button is definitely helpful. I will see you guys at your piles. Hello, pile 1. If you chose the first card and the raw jade crystal, this is your message. And I did want to let you guys know, if you skip the intro, I am in my new office, and so some of the lighting is still kind of questionable, but I am about to go on vacation, and before I left, I wanted to make sure that I got you guys a pick a card, and I was really feeling that calling. So before we get too far into this, I first want to open with an intention. So if you'll take a deep breath with me, in through the nose and out through the mouth. I would like to set the intention for clarity, for understanding, for peace, prosperity, balance, and harmony for my pile 1s. May this message of what is beneath the surface aid them in understanding more and deeper into themselves. I open myself to the guides and spirit team of the highest light for the greatest good for my pile 1, and I ask for your kindness, your grace, and your messages to flow through clearly. Thank you. Okay, pile 1. So first, we're going to start with this raw jade crystal. So the jade crystal is it's a stone of nobility. And of course, everybody easily associates it with money, with prosperity. And that is one thing, but one of the symbolisms that really caught me on this one is protection, like generational protection, love, clarity, balance, harmony, peace, but it's about generational protection. And what I'm getting is this essence of generational wealth is what I'm hearing right now, is generational wealth, as though you have been really working hard on finding your path towards creating generational wealth in a way that your family just hasn't seen in centuries. back far enough that it's something that isn't remembered. So I'm going to set this off to the side. Some of you may be called to getting jade. If you do feel that, please definitely check that out. I have found a lot of the times that crystals have a tendency to call to me. And really, when they call, it means that there is something that they and I are meant to work on together. So the first card you got is Diligence. Let's wait for it to get a little bit clearer for you. And what is beneath the surface of Diligence is action. So if you have been wondering, I'm just going to set these off to the side. If you have been wondering about how to build this generational wealth or what path to take in order to create this generational wealth, there's an essence of it doesn't matter the path that you take or the manner in which you do it. It's about the actual taking action. It's like you're in this stage where you spend a lot of time planning and plotting and getting what I'm hearing, your ducks in a row. So you spend a lot of time working on getting your ducks in a row. And that's all well and good, but for any kind of manifestation or even for any blessings to be able to come into your life, you have to be open to that. And that means that you have to take directed action forward to welcome those blessings in. So this is about you being very diligent, being very dedicated to taking action, knowing that it doesn't matter whether the action that you're taking is right or wrong. Right and wrong doesn't matter. It's about consistently making sure that you're taking action, being very diligent with the actions that you take. For instance, I fell off the wagon, so to speak. I quit drinking soda for a really long time. And I fell off the wagon and started drinking a lot of soda, especially when I was working through my Saturn retrograde guidebook. It just, for some reason, it was just kind of like I was slipping back into bad habits just to learn the lesson of cause and effect. Because as I slipped back into that bad habit, I gained weight and my body started reacting, and it was something that gave me a lot of clarity on what is and is not good for me. And now I'm struggling with reversing this or quitting, so to speak, quitting drinking soda again. It takes a constant daily action-oriented mindset of, I am not going to do this. I'm going to replace it with this. Whether that's tea or water or, black coffee. I do that a lot because I have to replace the caffeine now in order to be able to cut back down on it. So it's about being very, very dedicated and diligent about the actions that you're taking. When you want to build something that creates generational wealth, the thing about that is that kind of mentality, that kind of mindset is exactly the mindset you're meant to have, because what you're thinking about is not yourself solely. You may be thinking about how nice it would be to be financially stable, but you're also thinking about your children and your children's children and their children and cousins and nieces and nephews and aunts and uncles, and you're thinking about the family as a whole rather than just you and what you're going through right now. This is what you're thinking about. So because you genuinely have your heart in the right place, what Spirit is saying is what's hidden beneath the surface of this diligent nature that you have, this very constructed and organized nature that you have, is this need to take action. Whatever it is that you've been holding yourself back on, now is the time for you to take that step forward, to take that action forward, because this is the way that this is going to manifest in your life, and it's not going to look how you think it's going to look. It never does. And I say that from personal experience. It just never does. But as soon as you take action and you teach yourself to consistently take this action, that's when you open yourself up to receiving all of the blessings that the universe has waiting for you. I hope this makes sense. If it does, please let me know down in the comments section below. I would love to hear. So let's find out a little bit more about what kind of action or diligent action you're being called to take. Wow, okay. So we're going to leave that one because the Chariot really wanted to come out. And we've got the Five of Pentacles. Yeah, see? And even here we've got the Five of Wands. I'm not going to keep all of these because it just was a lot. But the fives are really standing out because we've got the Five of Swords. So, okay, I'm seeing here. So we're going to go here. There we go. Let's tell a story. I'll put the Chariot down here because it doesn't quite. Okay. I think there's another one for you. Yep. The Ace of Wands. That's so funny. The reason why I say it's so funny is because with the Ace of Wands, it was on the bottom of the deck, and then I started shuffling, and it really wanted to come out. So, yeah, we're going to just put these here. So as you can see, you've got the fives here that just really wanted to come out. This is about change. The five energy is always about change, and change is really, it can be very difficult, especially for somebody who is hyper organized and very meticulous. This diligence card is what I'm getting from it. It's almost like OCD, but it's just more like you want everything to be organized. You want it controlled. You want it prim and proper, and I understand that because I am very much that way. So I do resonate with that or understand that very much. So don't think that you're alone in this. You're not. I promise you're not alone in this. But sometimes you can get caught up in the organizational portion of it and hold yourself back. And the reason why you do that is literally these fives. So if you think about it, if you've got this surplus of fives, and you may be seeing 555 a lot, if that's the case, take this as a very firm confirmation. But with the fives, you know, you've got the Five of Pentacles, the Five of Swords, and the Five of Wands. The only thing you're missing is the Five of Cups, which I'm just really happy we don't have here. But this is something that you want to make sure that when you move forward, what I'm picking up is on the surface level, you're telling yourself, I'll know when it's time, I'll know when I'm ready. But underneath that surface, there's this almost turmoil kind of building. I'm seeing like, you know, on like the Weather Channel or whatever, they start showing you the way that a hurricane will build and move and how it turns from a tropical storm into a hurricane. They show the buildup and the spin. It's kind of like internally you have that buildup going on. And I see that a lot with this action card because it's this sense inside of you, this rebellious nature inside of you that's like, can you stop planning and just do? But the problem is that there's this fear surrounding it, the fear and lack, that not having enough, being left out in the cold, you know, it's not seeing enough financial abundance, not seeing enough financial gain, not seeing enough financial benefits or rewards coming out of what actions you've taken before has made you really hesitant. And because of that, you moved from that state, that lack mentality. You really fought against that and have overcome it in a big way. But underneath the surface, there's this buildup going on. And it's because you feel like you have to pick and choose what it is that you do. And this is very strange for me because, you know, the Five of Swords is the card that's all about compromise and, you know, mediation and winners and losers out on the battlefield. But to me, it's always the card about, you know, choosing your battles wisely. That's not what I'm getting. And I just saw 1313 on my timer, so that may be significant for some of you. I wouldn't mention it if it wasn't synchronistic in nature. But see, we've got this, you know, that is the Death card, and the Death card is about, you know, life and death and change and transition. So it does match. Sorry, guys. I just squirreled all over the place. But with this, I don't get this like picking your battles. It's not about choosing your battles wisely. It's kind of like you chose not to battle anymore. And because of that, the turmoil that you have inside is because you're not realizing that there's really no competition because you're so unique in who you are. You're so genuinely unique in what you do and who you are that it's not even about choosing your battles, but in your mind you feel like, well, I have to pick this direction, or I have to pick this direction, or I have to do this. And you're being too meticulous. There is a limit to diligence where you become too meticulous, too perfectionist. And when you do that, you actually stop yourself from taking action. You put yourself into a competition with all these other people, but it really isn't a competition because nobody does what you do, and no one can do it the way that you do it. And that's so important for you to understand, is like spirit works through you in a very, very unique way. And what I'm seeing here is you have all this change energy. All of this is kind of building and building and building beneath the surface because you're spending so much time trying to perfect something without taking directed action. This action, as soon as you decide to take it, it's kind of like this. This feels better. So you're very diligently working on overcoming lack mentality, overcoming this need of definitions and labels and fighting and battling. And you're deciding that it's time to take action that is truly from the heart. When you do that, what I'm seeing here is we've got the Chariot, which is all about victory. It's about bringing into balance that divine feminine and divine masculine, the light and the dark, and harmonizing them together. And you can actually see storm clouds down here on this Chariot card as well. But what I'm seeing, that victory that you take for yourself, this is more of a mental victory, a personal victory over the way that your mind will slow you down and make you question yourself. When you do that, it's like this gust of clarity comes in. And you can see this future, this generational wealth that you want to create. You can actually see the direct path for it. And it's like you can see the things that you're going to build. When I look at this crow here, and I'm working with a crow tarot and Sacred Destiny Oracle right now. But when I look at this crow and it's looking out over the city skyline, what I'm getting is it's like you're able to clear your mind and know what action to take because you can see what you're going to be building. You can see the way that this is going to build, and you find a sense of peace in knowing that it's going to come to fruition. And because of that, it doesn't matter. You decide it doesn't matter the path that you're going to take because you know it's going to happen. That's just beautiful. So let's get some messages, just some oracle messages for you guys. So we've got the Star Codes Astro. Why am I not surprised? We've got Aries with Act, and Aries is the first house and the first sign and the ruler of the first house, and it's ruled by Mars energy. But, you know, I mentioned Chiron and Chiron's cycle. Chiron is actually in the sign of Aries right now. So you may have Chiron prominent in your charts. It may be working through something that has to do with your hopes and your dreams. Like if Aries falls in your 11th house, if Aries falls in your, 10th and 11th houses is what I'm picking up the most. However, because it can be tied, it could also be your 4th and your 5th house, just because of the family connections that I'm feeling here. All right. Oh, we got two more. Jupiter, abundance, and then South Node in the past. Yeah. So you guys are literally learning how to let this South Node past go, how to move forward and understand that you're meant to be abundant. I get it. Here we go. See? Wow. I absolutely love how this is just like telling a clear story. Because what this is showing me is it's literally like your past actions are going to be bringing you abundance. For the South Node, it's about your comfort zone. And if these 5 energies are your comfort zone, taking action and moving out of that, as soon as you do, you're moving out of your past. You're moving forward into your abundance. You're moving into that. You're learning how to move into that. Do you have your South Node in Aries or in Libra, perhaps? I know that I have my South Node in Libra, which means a North Node in Aries, and that I believe that time frame ran from 1986 through 87 area. I want to say 87 is when it moved out. I cannot believe this. So you've got full moon in Libra with find a balance. So yeah, and Libra and Aries energies are oppositional energies, so they're on opposite sides of the chart. So you may be working really diligently on what kind of balanced action to take. Making sure you don't overwhelm yourself, you don't do too much, but also making sure that you are moving forward with almost like this inspirational manner. Then we've got first quarter moon in Leo with Be Humble. And that first quarter moon is the moon phase of taking action. And then we had a third one actually come out for you guys, full moon in Cancer, and let your fears dissolve. What was I saying about these 5s? Is that there was this fear that was just shrouding you taking action, this fear. Let it dissolve. Let it just be washed away. This Be Humble card, if you can see right here, you've got the symbolism of the sacral chakra. So this is about your emotions. But I just heard don't be too humble. It's kind of like pay your dues, but don't overpay. Does that make sense at all? If that makes sense, please let me know. I'm going to put these here. Yeah. It's Cancer, Leo, and Libra seasons may be significant for you, but the pay your dues but don't overpay. It's kind of like you can give to others, but make sure that you're not overgiving. There's something about this humble card. It's almost like you think that you're too prideful, and that's holding you back. There's a difference between humility, being humble, knowing the emotional connection that you have to Spirit and the help that Spirit gives you, but also knowing your own power and your own strength and not allowing somebody else to come in and dictate what your worth is. I don't know if someone has made you feel lesser than lately, but Spirit is really coming through strongly with this and saying there's a limit to humility, honey. Like there's a limit to it. Don't be egotistical and don't be prideful, but understand that Spirit meets you halfway and you meet Spirit halfway. So you work together. Okay. We've got 29 connections with partnership, contract, and commitment. See, this is what I'm saying. It's a partnership between you and Spirit. So it's owning your own personal power while also honoring the connection and the commitment that you have to working with Spirit. And then we have the card 23. And this is the second 23 that we have out on the board. So 3s, 2s, 5s, 11. But yeah, we've got 33, 23, which reduces to a 5. This is a lot of 5 energy, a lot of change coming in for you guys. So it says thought vibrations, resonant choices, and signature signals. Okay, this to me is saying that Spirit is helping you with these thoughts, with these fears, helping you release them, helping you understand the difference between being humble and giving too much to others and not enough to yourself. Humility is something that I've always felt has been served up to us, but being humble is different. And maybe that won't make sense, or maybe it will make complete and utter sense. To me, they're very different. They're very different energies. When you humble yourself in front of Spirit, you say, Spirit, please utilize me in the way that you need me the most, in the way that the world needs me the most, in the way that my family needs me the most. Please help me be a vessel for you, be a tool for you, be a voice for you. In whatever way it manifests in your life, however it works, you're coming into this partnership, this commitment with Spirit. And Spirit is going to help you get into the right thoughts, to break free and let those fears dissolve, to know that you don't have to humiliate yourself. You don't have to be overly humble, but you also need to allow your emotions to have their way. And that's what this be humble feels like, is it's time to allow yourself to be emotional. Humble yourself in front of your own emotions and give to yourself and to your heart first and foremost. So pile one, I really hope this resonated. I can sense a lot of change, but it's like you're on the cusp of changing, and what you need to do now is choose to take action. Choose action-oriented change. Choose that path, because that path is the path that you're meant to take. You are the leader of your own life, and you are the one that can initiate the change. I'd say I feel tower energy, but this is more like a radical upheaval of the way that you have operated prior to, this year even. It's almost as if you're just completely and utterly changing your basic programming, like your mental programming. You've literally changed all of that, and you have learned how to come into more balanced partnerships. And it's not just with Spirit, but it's with everybody. What's beneath the surface is that turmoil that's building and saying, take action, take action, take action. Trust the action that you're taking, because it's going to lead you where you're meant to go. Okay, pile one. Thank you so much for being here. I want to say thank you so much to your guides and my guides for facilitating the connection between us. Thank you to Spirit for my amazing gifts that I get to share with the collective. And I want to say thank you again, pile one, for being here, for being so meticulous and so diligent about your healing and about your life and about your choices. Very few people are that way, and you are very rare, and you are noble, and you are truly blessed. And I am blessed to have you in my collective. So thank you so much. If this resonated, please do the YouTube things, like, share, subscribe to my channel, and hit the notification bell so you don't miss any of my upcoming videos. If you are interested in any of my guidebooks or any of my self-help books, they are all available on Amazon. The link to my author page is in the description box below, as well as links to donate to my channel. And thank you to everybody who donates, and links to book a personal reading. If you want a personal reading that is extended based off of this, pick a card. I am offering 15-minute and 30-minute extended personal readings based off of a pick a card pile. You just let me know which pick a card it was, which pile you chose, and you will get the pile as well as your personal reading going forward. So if you are interested in that, the link to book a personal reading is down in the description box below. That is a new service I am offering, so don't hesitate to take advantage. Sometimes these messages have a lot of resonant points, but not enough. And if you want to know more on a personal level, this is the best way that I could think to help work with you and for you. All right, pile one, thank you again so much for being here. I love, love, love you all. Hello, pile two. If you chose the second pile, the second cards and stone, you chose the raw labradorite, and I'll move that up so you can see. Labradorite is such a beautiful, beautiful stone. It has such a shine to it. And that really is the essence of what it is that Spirit is coming forward to talk to you today about. And it has everything to do with your wisdom and your shine in the world. So before we move forward into the cards, I'm going to set this off to the side, and I would like to set an intention for this reading. So if you wouldn't mind, please close your eyes, take a deep breath with me in through the nose and out through the mouth. Spirit guides, angels, ancestors of the highest light for the highest good of Pile 2. I welcome you to this space today, and I ask that you help bring wisdom and clarity, dedication and devotion to Pile 2 for their path forward. I open this energetic space of safety, security, welcome, and comfort for all those who have chosen Pile 2. Thank you. Okay, Pile 2. The first card we have, the surface level, is the Voyage card. As you can see with the Voyage card, you've got a humpback whale, but it also has a baby humpback whale that is tied to the bigger one. And it is traveling in the night over top of the water. This is giving me this deep energy of your inner child and the journey that you've been on to kind of rescue yourself. It's almost as if you have gone on a voyage internally to rescue your dreams, your hopes, your wishes, that youthful essence that you had at one point in your life, and you may feel as though you have lost it now. And the thing about humpback whales is they are the sea creature who will travel the furthest distance. I think it's something like 14,000 or 15,000 miles they travel. And they do it together. They have been here since, according to, history, since before man. But they are ancient creatures. And there's an essence of you rescuing your inner child and awakening this ancient part of yourself that laughs, that just has so much fun, but knows its place and knows its power and knows its strength. It's just this core essence of who you are that is true blue innocence. And there may be a big part of you as an adult now that feels as though that just doesn't exist anymore. Some of you may be called to take a trip, called to go somewhere. Wherever you feel called to go, trust in that. I've seen this card so many times before, but I'm noticing there's this flock of seagulls in the background. Now, if any of you have been listening to Flock of Seagulls, take this as a confirmation of that. It's an 80s band. But you can see them in the background flying towards the moon. The one thing that I pick up the most from this, though, is you may be trying to save yourself from the depths of your emotions, especially those that you had when you were a child. Let yourself dive deep into those emotions. That's where you're being called to voyage to next, deep into your emotional body. There is a strength and a power and an illumination coming through about the emotions that you had as a child and how it impacts you now as an adult, the overprotective nature that you have over the things and the people that you love, and how that has been shaped based off of your life and your past and your childhood. So let's find out what's beneath this layer. Beneath this, we have truth. And if you look at the truth card, it's a tree that's in this desolate area. The grass is burnt and dead, and the wind is blowing so fiercely, but the tree stands tall. And it stands tall because it is rooted in it to the ground. It is rooted into its place here in the world. There's this divine truth coming forward to you that no matter the amount of turmoil or clouds or storms in your life, no matter the upheaval of emotions you may have or the experiences you had as a child, when you know that you are here for a reason, when you know that you're here for a purpose, and you ground yourself so firmly and you root yourself in that understanding that you are here and you are meant to be here, it does not matter the amount of bluster from anybody else. There's no amount of bluster that can come from anyone else, anywhere else, that can ever take away the truth of you being meant to be here in this world and there being something that you are here to do. Your personal truths cannot be blown away by someone else's beliefs. And the more that you allow yourself to really journey into your emotional body, the more that these truths of your power and your strength and your purpose and your place here in the world will come forward. So we have the Three of Wands, Spirit Guides of Pile 2. Can we get more here? I love that this Three of Wands, it's like a bridge is being built because you're following a North Star. So the Voyage card is literally like the more that you follow your North Star or your North Node, your path in life, your destiny in life, the more this truth of you being meant to be here and the reason why you're here is going to come to light. Holy buckets. We have the Ten of Pentacles. And the Ten of... Wow, you guys have cards flying everywhere. We also have the King of Wands. I'm just going to pull the cards and then we'll go from there. The King of Cups. Holy Pete's. There's a lot of very powerful, very balanced divine masculine energy coming through right now. We've got the Queen of Cups. I'm actually going to put these together because these feel like what you're heading towards. And then the Star. Wow, you guys. I'd like to say that this is counterpart energy. For some of you, this is definitely counterpart energy where you're learning what it is that you're looking for in life with this King and Queen of Cups. And you can even see how similar they are, and they're looking at each other. They're looking at each other, and you can see up here, I think that's a trout or a salmon, but either way, both fish, trout and salmon, they swim upstream and they battle and they beat themselves bloody. And now here you can see it's out of the water. It's gone on its journey. It's really fought for what it needed. And there's so much more upheaval in the King of Cups versus the Queen of Cups, which is just it's so soft. It's such a soft energy. I usually don't get that from the Queen of Cups, this essence of just softness. For a lot of you, this is about balancing your masculine and your feminine emotionality. But this is understanding, wow, there's so much here. Okay, these are so distracting for me. Just because it's like they just pop out. And that may be something that you're experiencing is you've gone through this essence, or this moment of a distraction, but it wasn't a negative distraction. It was literally a divine distraction. Like, the divine wanted you to focus. If some of you are in relationships, I'm getting like a 70-30 split. 70 of you are coming into a counterpart relationship. 30% of you are in relationships. So if you are in that 30% with relationships, the divine wanted you, spirit wanted you to focus on your relationship. You weren't doing anything wrong. It didn't detract from your journey forward. It didn't take away from your divine path, your North Star path. It actually is a huge proponent of that North Star path. And you needed to bring back that essence of love and romance and connection back in. Now, for the 70% of you that aren't in relationships, you've been focusing deeply on your path forward, on your abundance and your power, and standing in your power. And I get a lot of strength energy from this King of Wands because of the lion. But this is like the wisdom of the leader of the pack. And it's kind of like you finally learned, oh, I apologize, all the cards are skewed, but you've learned this essence of, I have this wisdom to be the leader of the pack, to really guide myself forward. I know the infinite nature of my personal power, of my divine masculine personal power, of the actions that I take. And you've built this bridge where a bridge shouldn't be, in order to be able to continue following that North Star, to bring in your abundance, to bring in your wealth, to bring in everything that you want. And how you did that was literally like you carried yourself forward. But now it's time to get into the wisdom that your emotions hold for you. When you touch into the wisdom that your emotions have for you, that's when you open your heart up to connection. And I get this essence like, yeah, I've heard this all before. Yeah, I've been waiting for however long. It was never about the waiting game. It was about knowing that you're safe to feel what you need to feel and letting yourself feel that, because you're following your heart forward, and your heart is your North Star. It is your path forward, and it will bring you into what it is that you want. But you have to be honest with yourself. You have to come to your ultimate truth. This is who I am. This is what I stand for. I am rooted in this truth of my purpose in this life, and I am going to allow my emotions to flow freely through me, because I now understand that my emotions do not control me, nor do I control them. We work together. We work collaboratively together. It's almost as though you see your emotions as an equal part of you, as your own ego, as your own identity. It's like you see your emotions as though they have an energy and an essence all on their own. It's almost like you associate your soul with your emotions, which is such a beautiful, beautiful thing. I don't think you understand how few people are able to see emotions in the light that you see them. Seriously. But know that if you've been seeking love, if you've been, or even not seeking it, but if you have come to a point where you know, genuinely know, okay, I am open and I am ready to love. I'm willing to love. I'm ready. This truth is arising out of you, and you're going to be pulled on this journey to bring that out. We have the card 16 with solar calm and clarify, and then we have 43 with fifth house and passion. It's the clarity that you have on your passions, on your purpose, on your identity, on the fact that you know you're here and why you're here. And you know that you have a purpose and a truth to share with the world. That passion that you feel coming forward, you've literally learned how to clarify your own personal power. You've learned how to clarify everything for yourself. You don't even need this reading. You're just here because something pulled you here, almost as though it's like a remnant of a piece of you saying, okay, yeah, you're right. You're absolutely right. It is that time. You have gotten that far. This is so beautiful. And we've got 7 and 7 and then the card 17. But when you've got 2 sevens on either side, that is the ultimate spiritual number. You're learning your own spiritual passions. You're learning how to calm the ego and embrace the emotions. Do some of you have a moon in Cancer, Pisces, or Scorpio? Just a lot of water moon energy here. Aquarius in the 3rd house as well, or the 7th house. Weirdly enough, I'm not getting Aquarius in the 5th house. With the 5th house, I'm actually picking up more of like, do you have an earth sign in your 5th house? Capricorn in the 5th house, perhaps? You don't have to have these placements in order for this to resonate or for this to be your reading, but if you do, know that this is definitely the reading for you. So we have 1st quarter moon in Sagittarius. Believe in your good luck. I love that with the 10 of Pentacles. That's insane. And the new moon in Libra. Know you are loved. Divine counterpart energy is so, so strong. You guys, if you have been following me for a while, oh my gosh, on the back of the deck, we have full moon in Aquarius. Be real. That is that truth card coming out firm. Okay. If you have been here for a while, you know, undoubtedly, I'm trying to put it away, but seriously, 1st quarter moon in Aquarius, trust the universe. Some of you have Aquarius in your 7th house or 5th house, but more 7th house. You know that I don't do relationship readings very often. I think I've done one relationship reading, and I don't tend to do it. But the King and Queen of Cups, I'm picking up like your divine counterpart. You already know, if you have met someone recently, if you've gone on, okay, so the image that I'm getting is someone sitting on a plane and you actually meet somebody on the plane and it's kind of like this Kismet moment, you know, destiny or fate. It's just one of those moments. If this has happened to you, it's time to get really real with yourself and to know your worth. As long that truth, that journey that you took brought you to your counterpart. Yeah, Spirit's kind of slamming that really strongly into my energy. So understand that it's safe for you to embrace the passion that you feel for another person, but the passion you feel for your spirituality, for your path forward, for everything that you've been through, for the truths that you hold inside. There's like, it's almost as though the divine truths that you have are a passion of yours as well. But I'm getting a lot of relationship energy here. A lot of connections. And it all stems from you knowing that you are loved, knowing that you are truly, truly meant for greatness, knowing that you have a purpose, knowing that you have a path, and knowing that you're embracing that. You're already on this journey. So we have the healing heart, love, acceptance, and romance. Yes. Okay. Yeah. Wow. Past life guides, karmic lessons, present assistance, and another 7. And then we have card 10, Archangel Raziel, wisdom, inspiration, and Akashic records. Okay, number 1, with Archangel Raziel and this Labradorite, this is about knowing the wisdom that you hold within. And the inspiration ties to the 5th house. So you definitely can call on Archangel Raziel, look the angel up, and really build that relationship, that guide relationship. Now, past life guides, what I'm getting is you've been through your fair share of karmic lessons, karmic relationships, karmic patterns, karmic cycles. You've gone through it. You've been through it. Now you know, because you have learned how to love yourself, to accept yourself. And because of that, you've also, that romance that I felt earlier, for those of you who are in relationships, the time that you took, that you genuinely took to come back together with the person that you love and defy odds. I'm hearing defy gravity, defy odds, just whatever it was that you did, it literally broke you out of the karmic patterns that you were in, the karmic cycles you were in. You healed that. You followed your heart and you healed it. And now you have your divine counterpart there. It's already in your life. And that I get for a lot of you, for almost everyone. You already know your divine counterpart. And divine counterparts are not always a romantic relationship, but in this pile specifically, it's a romantic relationship and you're already with your divine counterpart. Okay. It's commonly called twin flames, but I don't like the concept of twin flames and the way that it's presented. And that's a personal preference of mine, because the concept to me of twin flames feels very much like when I was in high school and we used to refer to people as our soulmates. Well, now we know that soulmates can literally be animals. It can be a tree. It can be anything that you are mated with on a soul level, that you are in a soul family with. Like, you guys are my soulmates as well. That's why you're here, because my soul resonates with your soul, and that's why we connect here. And my ears just started ringing way higher. So I'm taking that as a very firm confirmation. But sometimes it is a romantic connection. And for those of you who are in a romantic connection, your heart has healed. Your heart has healed. You have healed these karmic lessons. And now you have all of this help coming forward. And it may seem kind of almost unsteady. I'm being reminded of a conversation that I had with one of my daughter's friends. And she said, my life is going so well. It feels like everything is falling into place and I don't know what to do with myself with everything going well. If everything is falling apart and in a state of chaos, I know how to handle that. But I don't know how to handle my life going well. And I 100% understand what she means, because I have been in that state a lot lately myself, because everything for me is going really, really well. I'm publishing my books. They're, spreading, internationally. And it's one of those where I wake up in the morning and I'm like, oh my gosh, I should pinch myself, because, this is real life. Except that when you heal these karmic patterns, you come into this state, and sometimes it can feel very much like, what am I doing with my life? Because everything just seems to work easy and flow easy. It's not a mistake, and it's not a setup for something to fall apart. The other shoe isn't going to drop. This is literally because you have done the work to heal your heart from these karmic lessons. And now you have this wisdom and this inspiration coming forward, and whatever idea that you have for your life, this truth that's awakening within you that is for your future, for what you're building in your life, outside of the romantic relationship, because this is just literally in every aspect of your life, but on a work level right now, everything that you're feeling, the downloads you're getting, the insights, the wisdom, the inspiration, that's all coming from the Akashic Records. It's all coming from your personal book of life and what you knew you were here to do. And you have all of these guides from past lives here coming in and helping you, because they all contracted to help you through this, to help you get to this point. Now, literally, like, your relationships, your friendships, your working world, it's shifting, it's changing, it's evolving, it's on its own journey. And the best part about it is you literally have learned how to harness all the energies that you have. And now you know that through this confirmation that you didn't necessarily need, but now you're getting, you have healed enough to know that it's safe for you to be in your emotional depth, because your emotional depth is your wisdom. And you've cleared your emotional body to an extent that the world is waiting for you to teach others how to do it. Even if you don't know the exact way that you did it, you will know exactly what path to take to teach others when the time comes. There's a saying, when the teacher is ready, the student will appear, I believe is how it goes. And you can use that in a vice versa. When the student is ready, the teacher appears. It's both ways. For you specifically, Pile 2, you are the teacher and your students are waiting for you. And your students are literally like the world. Because the more that you root yourself in the truth of who you are and what your power is and how important you are, how loved you are, how special you are, and you are real and authentic and genuine, and you bring all of this forward, it's kind of like, what can't you do at this point? Because everything in your life is going exactly how it's meant to. And you're at the phase in your life that this is supposed to happen. I don't know what else to say to you guys aside from I want to know. I want to know more about you. I genuinely do, because you guys inspire me so much. So Pile 2, thank you so much for being here. If this resonated, please do the YouTubey things, hit the like button, share it out, subscribe to my channel so you don't miss any of my upcoming videos, and don't forget to hit the notification bell so you get notified of my next video upload, which will be in a while because I'm going to Florida and I cannot wait to get to the beach. I cannot wait. So please do all of that. Comment down below. Let me know how this resonated, whether you were the person who was on the plane or how that story went, if you are up for sharing it, because I really want to know. I'm a sucker and a romantic by nature, and I would love to hear your love story. And if you're interested in any of my books, I do have my retrograde guide books out with more to come. The link for my author page is down in the description box below, as well as links to donate to my channel, and you can book a personal reading. If this reading resonated and you want to get a little bit more personal with it, you can book a 15 or a 30-minute personal reading based off of this pick a card. You just tell me the pick a card and the pile, and I can extend the reading out for you in that way. This is a new service I'm offering with extended personal readings based off of my pick a cards. That way you get more clarity without the having to pick and choose with your discernment. We can just find out all of what applies to you. So I want to say thank you for being here. Pile 2, you're amazing, absolutely incredible, an absolute inspiration in this world. You just are. You just are. Thank you so much to your guides and my guides for facilitating the connection and the messages between us. And thank you so much for Spirit, for these messages, for my gifts that I am able to come forth and to share with the collective, to share your messages with the collective, your healing and your love, and for the collaboration that we all have together. Thank you again so much, Pile 2. You guys are amazing, and I will see you all again next time. I love, love, love you. Bye. Hello, Pile 3. If you chose the third cards and stone, you chose this black obsidian. And first of all, this specific piece I absolutely love because you have these scratches, and no matter how much I clean it, it doesn't shine the way the rest of it shines from how it was cut. But it's like a beautiful imperfection on the stone. And black obsidian is a stone of power. It's a stone of grounding and protection. And it's almost as if you know that some of the things that you do are perfectly imperfect. It's like, you know, that you have this tendency to be a little rough around the edges, but that tendency, that part of you is part of your essence. You're not here to please everyone. You're here to be you. Sharp edges and all, blunted nature, however it is. Like, you may be somebody who speaks hard truths, who is very blunt and straightforward with what you say. And there is a message here about the fact that as you do this, as you embrace this as aspect of who you are, the more you embrace the true nature of yourself and you come forward in the most genuine, authentic way. Even if other people don't understand it, you're still being true to you. And that's such a beautiful thing in a world where there are so many people who just pretend. So I'm going to set this to the side. And before we get into the cards, I would like you to take a deep breath with me, in through the nose and out through the mouth as we set an intention for this pile. Guides, ascended masters, angels, archangels, and ancestors of pile 3, I welcome you to this space, and I ask that you bring forth clarity and truth, purpose, passion, power, and divinity for my pile 3s. May your messages flow through my channel and out into the world to reach those it is meant to. Thank you. Okay, pile number 3. First of all, I love your energy. There's like this zing to it. And the top card that you chose is the card Power. And it doesn't shock me at all that this is the card that came out with the black obsidian stone. You can see the lightning coming down, but you can also see that the power grid is still on. It's like this essence of earthly power and divine power all together, blended together. And that is who you are, and you know it. And if you don't know it, I'm here to tell you right here and now that you do hold the power of both heaven and earth within you. You are meant to hold this power. It is part of why you're here. You are here to wield and harness this power and truth, because what you do is you help change the world and you help change others. What's beneath this power, wow, is transformation. And this specific transformation card, it's so soft and beautiful and genuine. And it knows that it has this butterfly. Most butterflies are the same on both sides, but this one isn't. It's 2 different colors. And it knows it's different. And so should you. You're meant to be different. That is your superpower. It is the essence of your true spiritual power in this world. And you're here to show the world exactly what it's like to be different, how to take that difference, how to use it to fuel change and transformation, not just in your life, but in the world as a whole. It's almost as though you guys wield the power of the Tower card in tarot. That's what I'm picking up. And it's not in a bad way. There are so many people who are afraid of the Tower card, but it's almost like you think that's child's play. Like, give me a Tower card. Give me that change, that transformation. Give me that power to have my life be what it's meant to be. break down the illusions, break down the barriers, and give me truth, clarity, confirmation. Give me the essence of everything. Don't sugarcoat anything. I don't deal in sugar and lies. I deal in truth and beauty. That's what I'm getting from your energy, from your pile specifically. All right. On the back of the deck, we have the Four of Pentacles. And you guys are the first ones where I feel like the back of the deck needs to be out. Because this is that firm, stable nature of what you're building. It's knowing what you hold within you. You know, the Four of Pentacles can be seen as like being too stingy, clinging too tightly, but that's not what I get from this. I get this essence of, I know what I hold in my hands. I know who I am, and I know what I can do here in this world for myself and for others. And I am going to show you that this is what I hold in my hands. And then you go and you do that. And that's amazing. That is absolutely incredible. And you may have felt as though it can be off-putting to other people. It can push other people away. But those are people that are literally going to change because of coming into contact just with your energy alone. So let's take a look at your tarot cards. We have the Hermit. Yeah. The Sun. Holy buckets, you guys. The Moon. The Devil. And the reversed Queen of Cups. And I don't normally read reversals, but I felt this one come out reversed. This is... Wow. Okay. Holy cow, you guys. Okay. So this may seem, like I said, very off-putting. But this is like the essence of your energy. Your energy literally has such an internal strength from this Hermit card. This is like, it's almost like your natural essence is to go within and discover whatever it is that you need to discover. And you're bringing balance to the Sun and the Moon. I apologize if you guys can hear my dogs being rambunctious. It's Jade. She is still a pup. But what I was saying is you guys naturally go within. You just, it's like you just know to do that. And, you know, I hear Jade, and it's almost as though that is in and of itself a message for you about the way that you work. People can be really afraid of a dog's bark. But if the dog barks and never bites, it's kind of like they're just afraid of what they're hearing because what they're hearing is not what they want to hear. And that's where this comes in. You are here. This is what you bring light to right here. I apologize that the cards are so... Actually, I don't. Let me explain why. I wanted to say I apologize for the cards being so skewed, but this is what your energy is like. It's like everything that you do seems a little bit off kilter from the norm. And it's meant to be that way. And it's because when you go within, you literally balance your divine masculine and divine feminine. You balance your ego with your soul, your emotions with your direct action and power. You literally take the best of both worlds. And like I said before, you break down illusions, and you break down illusions because you do it for yourself first. You don't follow any guidelines or anyone else's dictates. And that is what you bring light to. You show people how they chain themselves down to this belief, how they chain themselves to the self-sacrificial behavior where they don't take care of themselves and they don't feed themselves. They don't have this balance. And you literally show how uneven and imbalanced things can become within oneself to elicit manipulative action. You call manipulators out on what they do. You call narcissists out on what they do. And you do it because you know that internally there is an imbalance within them. You may be very, very drawn to psychology, but you may be drawn to psychology in a way where you don't even like the field of psychology. You just like the way the mind works, and you want to figure it out as though it's just something that you just naturally do. you just naturally know, hey, this is the twisted way you're thinking, and what it's doing is it's making you be this way. It's making you do this. It's making you be whatever. However it is that you do it, it's unique to each one of you, but you have this essence, this understanding of human motivation and human behavior, and that is such a huge spiritual power, and you don't even realize it because it's kind of like that's just your natural essence, your natural state. It's what you do. You may have, say, like your sun in Cancer and your moon in Leo, and I say that because, first of all, I do, and I understand how that energy feels just because it's my own, but because it's like you have your placements in oppositional signs. I'm trying to think of another way that could be. It's like having your moon in Sagittarius and Jupiter in Cancer, where they're flip-flopped rulerships. So that means that the energies really blend together. It's just because the sun and the moon are out that it would come up. Alternately, you may have your sun or your moon or both of them in Capricorn. There is a Capricorn new moon that hits in December 23rd. Sorry, I just want to make sure those are your cards. Yeah. Okay. So that Capricorn new moon may be significant. It may be in opposition to your sun sign if you have a sun in Cancer, or opposition to your moon sign if you have your moon in Cancer. But there's that essence there too. But with the devil card is not really about evil. It's not about the devil. It's about the way that our mind plays tricks on us. The beliefs that we hold that just don't hold truth or weight. And you hold the power to literally transform that for others, because you transform it for yourself, and it's not just transforming, you transmute these emotions, these thoughts, these opinions, these beliefs, and you turn it into a superpower within you. Have any of you guys seen Stranger Things? My husband and I actually just finished catching up on it, watching the newest season. But I get this essence of you're kind of like the character 11 in that show. Spoilers if you haven't seen it, she has superpowers. But that's kind of how you are. It's not necessarily like the telekinesis, though some of you may have telekinesis, which would be really cool. Please let me know down in the comment section below, because awesome. I want to be able to move like my pen or my remote without having to get up. That would just be really cool. And yes, I'm being totally childish about it. Not sorry. I am having a hell of a time with your guys' energy. It's so awesome. It's so fun. I love your energy. But with this essence that I get is like, you know that the devil is in the details of the mind. You know that saying, the devil is in the details? That's kind of how I pick up from you, is you know the details of things that create the illusion of off-kiltered energy, of mental imbalance or a lack of clarity. You know how that works. So let's get your star codes astro and get some more. We've got 55 with transits and climate. And you know, I was just talking about the new moon in Capricorn, December 23rd, which actually happens to be the day that Chiron exits out of retrograde. So that may be significant to you. You may have Chiron in Leo or Cancer or Capricorn as well. I would have to look at the dates, but that could be significant. You've got the 11th house with community. Oh, do you have some 11th house transits going on? And then we have the card 30 with Palace, Athena, and Think. Yeah, like I said, there's this mental energy, this mental understanding that you guys have. And with that, you're learning how to this is really cool. You're learning how to track the transits, to determine how your community works, how to bring in your community into your life, but also to determine how community actually works in the world as a whole. like how people work together in a community setting. Whoa, okay, yeah. Full moon in Sagittarius, see the bigger picture. And last quarter moon in Aries, work through your feelings. And then we're going to take the back of the deck. That's a lot of fire energy I'm feeling. Last quarter moon in Pisces, talk less, feel more. See, there's a lot here about feelings. So you may spend a lot of time in the mental realms. When you realize that to harness the true nature of your power, you have to transform this action-oriented nature and the thinking nature, the head space, into a heart space. This Queen of Cups will flip the other way. And I actually think that for the most part, you guys actually know that and you do that. You're here to teach others how to do all of this, how to get into their emotional state, how to use their belief systems and their understanding and their belief in themselves and grace and compassion for themselves specifically to work through their feelings in order to take that Queen of Cups and turn it right side up so that it isn't reversed anymore, so that there isn't manipulation, but there isn't this essence of I'm just going to give and give and give and give and give and then run out completely. Are you guys fire signs? Are you like, this feels like a fire pile, which is new to me. I watch Lexi the Leo and she talks about a water pile all the time, but I think I touch into fire signs a lot because I get this fire essence, this go, go, go essence. It's not a bad thing. Like I said, I love it. Yeah, we've got the card 33 with phase entanglement and emotional influence. The card 36 with Archangel Raguel, justice, harmony, and solutions. And on the back, we have the card 3. Holy cow, threes, you guys. Sensitivity and strength, tapping the forces within. If you're seeing 333, 555, or 359, that's really specific. But threes, fives, nines. Know that that's a message from your guides to help you understand. But this emotional influence, this is you are understanding more about this emotional influence and how it messes with the brain. And now whatever entanglement you were in has been rebalanced. There is the justice and harmony, the Archangel Raguel, it's literally like there's just a very specific message, and this card almost feels just completely separate, where there's this message letting you know that with these two in particular, to let you know that whatever entanglement, whatever karmic situations you were in where people were gossiping about you or telling lies about you, even telling lies to themselves about you, that's rebalanced now. You may not see it, but divinely rebalanced. Now, on another level, with the solutions card, Archangel Raguel is somebody who you can call to help you learn how to bring forth the solutions for the mind and emotional entanglement that can happen. Because the more that you tap into these forces within, this power that you have, this underlying beneath the surface ability to just elicit transformation automatically, the more you do that, the more you learn that the softer touch works just as well as the sharp-edged nature. And it's going to transform you and others and your life. But there is so much here that is saying you are understanding this and you're learning how to use it. You may be a Pluto-dominated person. Just check your astrology chart. You may be a Pluto-dominated person. If you are, awesome. Awesome. Because I love Pluto's energy. Pluto's energy is like the essence of creativity for me. That may be something that maybe you needed to hear, is you're Pluto-dominated, which means that you have this power of transformation naturally to you. But did you realize that you can use creativity to heighten this, to harness this, to help you with the sensitivity of it, and to teach others how to get through it now too, so that they can live a more authentic life, sharp edges and all. So pile 3, this is literally all I'm seeing for you guys. You guys, underneath the surface, you have this beautiful, beautiful, unique nature that literally transforms others and yourself and the world. And I want to say thank you so much for being here at my channel. Thank you so much for being part of my collective. You guys are amazing, and I am honored to read for you. If this resonated, please do the YouTubey things, like, share, subscribe to my channel so you don't miss any of my upcoming videos, and don't forget to hit the little notification bell so that you get notified the next time I upload. It's gonna be a little bit because I'm going on vacation. Woo woo! I'm really excited if you couldn't tell. So thank you again, you guys, for being here. I want to say thank you so much to your guides and my guides for facilitating the connection and bringing forth these messages. And I want to say thank you so much to Spirit for my amazing gifts that I get to share with others, and for the amazing gifts that my collective has that I get to highlight and help them feel a sense of community and kinship. So thank you so much. It really genuinely fills my heart. All right, pile 3. If this resonated, please comment. Let me know. Let me know if you guys are Pluto dominated. I'm so curious. Down in the description box, you can check out links to my Amazon author page. Check out any of my books. I write both self-help and astrological guidebooks. You can also get links to donate to my channel if you've been donating. Thank you so much. You're a rock star. Also, there are links to book a personal reading. If this reading resonated and you would like a personal reading based off of this reading specifically, and I just saw 22:55 on my clock. We've got 55, 33, 3s, 9s, 5s. Like I said, wow. Anyway, sorry, I squirreled. Distraction. If you would like to book a personal reading based off of this, there are 15-minute and 30-minute slots open and available right now for personal readings based off of pick-a cards. You specify the pick-a card and the pile. You will get the pile recording, but then we will go into how it applies to you specifically and your life moving forward. So I want to say thank you so much again for being here. I love you guys. I will see you all next time. And like I said, I will see you when I get back from vacation. I love you. Bye. Hello, pile 4. If you chose the last pile cards and this raw bloodstone, this is your message. So as I was getting ready for your pile and tapping into the bloodstone energy, which is all about being courageous, the courageous spirit, and associated with the sign Aries, which doesn't surprise me because I did mention that this is tied to Chiron's retrograde, and Chiron is going retrograde in the sign of Aries. What I picked up from this was like this kind of, oh, I just need a vacation, which is funny because I've been saying that a lot. And if you didn't catch my intro, I did mention how I was going on vacation. But you also picked the card Adventures. Let's see if I can get this to focus so you can actually read the word. There we go. I apologize for the lighting, guys. Like I said in my intro, I am in my new office and I'm still working on getting all of the lighting exactly right. But you chose the card Adventures, and sometimes the adventures that we go on, the vacations that we go on, they don't actually involve going anywhere, but it's about allowing your spirit to engage in new adventures. What I'm picking up more so for you guys is there's this feeling, this almost energy and essence of something within you is pulling you to try something new, something exciting, something that makes you feel alive. And I'm not saying that you don't naturally feel alive. I'm saying that there's something that your soul is calling for you that makes you feel electrified, is the word that is coming through. Kind of like, well, like I feel when I come here and do these tarot readings. It makes me feel more connected to everything and everyone. It makes me feel like I'm on top of the world. It's almost that essence of invincibility that you get when you're a teenager. Before the world has jaded you and you have figured out that there is such a thing as death and danger and sorrow and sadness and hurt and everything. Even if you've had a really hard childhood, you know, usually as a teenager, you still go through that phase where you feel as though you can do anything and triumph over everything. And nothing can slow you down and nothing can hold you back and nothing will ever stop you from just experiencing life. And right now on the surface level, that's exactly what you want. You want the experiences. Whatever that experience is, it's calling to you, which means that you know that you have this pull towards something, but it feels almost as though you need like a dose of Felix Felicis. That if any of you have watched Harry Potter, in the 6th book and 6th movie, The Half-Blood Prince, there is a potion called Felix Felicis, and it's called the good luck potion. It's liquid luck, and it essentially makes you feel untouchable, as though you're on top of the world and nothing can stop you. It's kind of like your spirit is telling you, we're about to go on this journey, this adventure, this trip, and you're going to need to embrace the essence of being untouchable. It's like this card Adventures. All these birds are in the Amazon, and the Amazon is a wild place. It's a wild place barely touched by man. It's as though where you are headed is something that is so specific to you. And you know that it's specific to you. And that's why you need this boost of courage, this boost of awareness. So let's find out what's underneath the surface. Underneath the surface, we have the card Flexibility. And you can see the tiger has seen down or through the trees, has seen a path. And that is a path specific for the tiger. Now, the tiger is kind of a lone creature, or I can't even tell you that definitively based off of, like scientific principles or anything like that. But I always see tigers being pictured alone. They feel like a very solitary creature. And that may be something that your spirit is being called to become aware of, is that it's time for you to be flexible with how you do this, and with the understanding that sometimes you do the things that you need to do, and the adventures that you're seeking, that you're calling for, require you to open your mind up a little bit more, to become more flexible, to understand a little bit more. Wow, you just all of these cards just kind of flew out. Let's see. They definitely are for you. Okay. So what I was saying about flexibility. You want to go on an adventure. It's time to be courageous, but also be ready to go with the flow, to shift into a state in which you're going to be willing to change whatever you need to change in order for whatever it is that you want to come into your life, or for whatever experiences you want to have happen. Sometimes you have to change how you view something in order for you to understand that that shift is what your soul is calling for you to do. So let's get a little bit more information and see your cards. So you have the Two of Swords. That does not surprise me with the flexibility. The Queen of Swords. Ooh, this is mental clarity that you're seeking. The Six of Cups. See, okay, before I evaluate all of it, the Seven of Swords, the Ten of Wands, and the Ace of Cups. Okay, so first of all, this energy right here, these first three cards, I'm actually going to shift. We're going to shift this like this because this, yep. There we go. Okay, so here's what the biggest issue is that I'm picking up with you guys. And it's not like a huge issue. It's more of you need mental clarity on just what it means to be flexible, just what it means to be courageous, just what this adventure is that you want to go on. It's kind of like your soul is like, it's just calling you to get really clear with yourself, to get clear with the divine, to get clear with the universe. If you want to manifest an adventure in your life and an experience in your life, you have to know what the experience is that you want to experience. So I know a lot of people who work with the law of attraction, they talk about manifestation in the sense of you think about what you want and not what you don't want, because the more that you think about what you don't want, the more you actually welcome in that energy. That's kind of what this is, but it's almost as though you are spending too much time focusing on what you want and not on what you don't want. And it's very oppositional. And because of that, you've blocked yourself up to any kind of possibility of a new direction or a new way of doing this because you're deceiving yourself in your thought process. And it's based off of other people's opinions, other people's words. And I say that because of this Queen of Swords and Ten of Wands essence is you're trying to be this Queen of Swords, this clear cut, this is what this is. But it almost feels as though it's weighing on you to be that clear. When you were a kid, you embraced this energy of ambiguity. Like, I can do this and I can do that. And I can be this way and I can be that. I can love this and I can love that. And I can, and it was fine. It was okay. It's that essence of invincibility that you were holding on to. And the older that you got, the more that you started limiting yourself. And the more that you limited yourself, the more that you sought someone out to help remove those limits or teach you how to remove those limits. When you started going down that journey, what I'm picking up is the further down that journey of removing your limitations that you got, the more you actually deceived yourself about your actual limitations. Because when we engage with other spiritual teachers, and I know this from my own experience, but when we engage with other spiritual teachers, it's their own beliefs that they're teaching based off of. It's not based off of who we are, but who they are. And when you don't realize that, then you get caught up in maybe I need to go this direction, maybe I need to be this way. But what Spirit's here to tell you is that this is about how you deceive yourself and block yourself off. Now with this Queen of Swords and the Ten of Wands, the more that you try to be very firm and very strong and very clear cut with things, the more it's like you're putting weight on your own shoulders. It's more of a burden for you to try to be this clear, definitive ruler and not embrace your emotions. A lot of this has everything to do with an emotionality that just isn't being allowed out. You know, sometimes the adventure that we're being called to go on is one that involves our own emotional body. You guys may have been called to another pile. If you were, go check it out. I don't want to mention the pile just because I don't want to influence anything, but you know your own intuition better than I do. So if your intuition was calling you to another pile, go back and watch that pile because there are messages for you there as well. But you're being called on a journey, and a lot of it has to do with breaking free of your mind and allowing your emotions to take precedent. that's, I think, a big reason why underneath the surface, what's that lower level is flexibility, this sense that you don't think that you have. And a Queen of Swords isn't always the most flexible of rulers. Sometimes Queen of Swords are the most rigid because they have their perception, and their perception is what the perception is. It's an inflexible nature. Now, if you think about swords, in essence, we're talking about a broadsword instead of, like, say, a foil, which is what you would use in fencing. A foil in fencing will bend, but a broadsword will not. So, do you want to engage in a lighthearted battle, or do you want to stand firm and be like, no, it has to be this way? Because when you do that, you actually limit the universe. And in limiting the universe, you limit yourself. What if you said, okay, I can bend this direction and I can bend that direction just like a foil would? That's what you want to think about. So let's get some more information. We have the North Node in Future. I love that. And then we have the square, semi-square, the quincunx. Okay. So we've got a triple aspect. We've got a square, a semi-square, and the quincunx, which creates like a kind of tense energy. But the way that they read these in this card is tension, because they're all seen as hard aspects, tense aspects. And then we've got the card 13 with dignified and strength, which means that the more tense you feel, the more you find your inner strength. But underneath the surface, you're learning this flexibility. And the funny thing about it is the quincunx, so this right here, it's 154 degrees or 150 degrees aspect. 130, let me think. 150 maybe, I think I said that. Because we've got the semi-sextile and then quincunx. Semi-sextile is 30. Sextile is 60. 90. 120. 150. Yeah, it's a 150 degree, I do believe. Anyway, the essence of the quincunx aspect is learning flexibility between two planets in two signs and two houses. It's learning how to flex with different energies, knowing that those different energies are there and traditionally cause tension, but it doesn't have to. Knowing that you can flex with it, learning how to flex with it, it gives you a strength. And this North Node in Future is literally like saying, okay, but if you keep holding on to this inability to flex because you're stuck in your mental space and you're not allowing yourself to really embrace much of your emotional body, the more you create this tension. You have an innate ability to be more flexible. You really do. Even if you feel like, oh, I'm so structured and I'm so rigid and this is how I always am, that's not always the case. Underneath the surface, you're so ready for a change and to be flexible that you quite literally are flexible in essence in who you are. So we have the first quarter moon in Gemini, speak your world into being. Yes. I apologize if you can hear my cat. She's complaining a lot because I have her locked out right now. We have the full moon in Scorpio, breathe through the tension. The new moon in Capricorn, step up and lead, and that is December 23rd of this year. And then full moon in Libra with find a balance. Yeah, you definitely are connected to another pile. I'm just saying. So with these energies, you've got two cardinal energies here, but then you've got a mutable and a fixed energy. Scorpio is a fixed energy, which is why it says breathe through the tension, because you have to learn how to navigate through a fixed energy. And right now the South Node is traveling through, the North and South Node are traveling through fixed signs, which for someone who isn't natural to fixed energy, Like for myself, for example, I am natural to fixed energy because I have a Leo moon and a Leo rising. So I'm used to the fixed energy. That's actually in my nature. And so I've learned how to work with that and turn that into a flexible energy. But when you're not accustomed to it, it can make you feel more tense. Now, the North Node is having you feel into your future. And when you feel into your future, you get asked to speak your world into being, to literally manifest what you want into your world. But in order to do that, you have to understand that you're working with specific energies out in the world right now. And to work with these specific energies, you have to balance your natural energy with the energy out in the cosmos, and to understand that being flexible and being adventurous and being courageous, that's your strength. That is your natural essence. And so when it says step up and lead and find a balance, it's literally telling you to find a balance within your life, because it's time for you to take the lead in your own life, in your own journey, in your own adventure. To choose to move forward in the way that you're meant to move forward, and to know that you can be more than one thing. You can be both light and dark. You can be both good and bad. You can be both, you know what? You can even be both masculine and feminine. You can be anything and everything you want. Me, I'm a tarot reader and I'm an author. I'm an astrologer and I'm a psychic. I am more than one thing. So are you. That is the beauty of being a multidimensional person. When you understand that, now you learn that you can flex because you are so many things. You're not just one thing, one person, one identity. You are so much more than that. And Spirit and your guides really genuinely want you to understand that you may feel so much right now because there is so much tension out there. The collective energies are nothing but tension. And I can literally hear a helicopter. I apologize if you can. But think about it that way. Helicopter noises in the past used to really trigger people because of war, because of memories of things like that. So you could get really tense by interacting with these triggers. Or you could be like, why is this triggering me? Let me go in and take a look at this. Let me move through this. Let me heal this. Let me understand what it was that triggered from my past, this emotion, and let me renew myself with a new emotion, a new strength, a new courage. Think about adventure in a completely flexible way. You can go on an adventure without ever leaving your home. I apologize if you guys can hear Winifred. Let's get some last energy information. We've got 7 past life guides, karmic lessons, present assistance. I am going to reiterate, you guys are tied to another pile so intricately, it's outrageous. We've got the card 25, Goddess of Dreams, Vision, Intuition, and Receptivity. And then we have the card 2, Attachment, Longing, and Desperation. This attachment and the 2 of Swords with the 7 of Swords is exactly what I have been feeling from the Queen of Swords energy. Is you're attached to this way has to be the way that I do things. But your intuition is telling you there is a different way. And you've been through this. You've learned this lesson before. And now Spirit and your guides are coming forward and they're saying, this is a spiritual time of your life. You are moving into a new spiritual dimension for yourself, for your journey. You have guides with you. You have 777, 7s and 2s may be prominent in your life. Also the number 444, if you see 444 regularly. That came through a while back. I was waiting for the pile to present itself. But we've got 777. There's a 7 here as well. There's a multitude of 7s here. 7 is the energy of the seeker. That is an adventure. It is asking you to think about what it is that you're seeking. Why are you seeking it? Why are you so attached to this way of it being? Can you not see that when you go into a receptive state, you open yourself up to a multitude of different ways that this can present itself. So now the time has come for you to really think about what it is that you want to do moving forward, and then allow yourself to be guided so that you get yourself free of these karmic lessons by learning to be flexible, by being courageous and exploring yourself. I just saw 22:22 on the clock. So twos, and like I said, 2s and 7s are very prominent with you guys. Honestly, I know that you guys have a vision for your life. I can see it here. You do have a vision, and it is a very strong one. And you know there is a future that you are trying to bring into being. But in order to bring it into being, you have to learn that the future is as fluid as the water in the ocean is. And so you have to allow for that fluidity to come in, to allow it to meld and change as it is meant to. And sometimes our visions, we try to control how they present themselves, how they move, how they flow. And when we do that, we actually limit everything. We limit the universe. We limit ourselves. You guys need to break free of these limitations. In order to break free of the limitations, you have to understand that your innate nature is flexibility. It is mutability. It is changeability. It is knowing that there is going to be tension in certain aspects of your life or within yourself, and you have the ability to move and flow and flux around it because you have the intuition, because you are receptive, because you know that your dreams will reveal it to you. I think I need to do a dream reading because I have these dream decoder cards, and I literally looked at them as I was working on this reading and was like, I bet I need to do a dream reading. And you guys really, like, your energy is really like, I need a dream analysis. So thanks for the confirmation from you guys. But see, that in and of itself is a version of flexible receptivity, because I'm allowing for me to understand more about collective needs through this reading itself. And that helps me plan for my future. And the only reason why I think that I'm sharing this aloud with you guys is because Spirit wants you to understand that you have the ability to do these things too. This karmic lesson that you're stuck in is this way or that way. It has to be this way or that way. And the more that you say it has to be this way or that way, the more you limit yourself. The more you limit yourself, the more you limit the universe. And you are so multifaceted and meant for so much more. I feel like you guys have heard this 1.5 million times before, and that can be really frustrating in and of itself as well. Because if you've heard it 1.5 million times before, then it's like, well, how do I change that? You flex. You shift, you change, you choose to be flexible. All right, pile 4. I've dragged this out as long as I can. The messages can keep flowing through, but it's going to become ever so specific if they do. And if you are wanting more information for you specifically, please go down to the description box, check out my link to book a personal reading. I do have a new offering down in my personal readings where you can actually extend one of the pick a cards out into a personal reading. And I book them at 15 minutes and 30 minutes. And you get the reading from the collective first, and then I just continue on after that with a personal reading. So if you do want something more specific, please go down and do that. I definitely would be more than happy to clarify for you where it is that you're limiting yourself, because I get the essence that you're not entirely sure where, and there's this frustration really strongly coming through, which leads straight into the I need a vacation feeling. And look at that, we came full circle. All right, pile 4. I want to say thank you so much for you guys being here. I know what a journey it was for you to get here, and I appreciate your presence here today. So thank you so much. Thank you to your guides and my guides for facilitating this connection between us so that I could bring these messages forth. And thank you so much, Spirit. Thank you for my gifts and for the opportunity to sit down and to talk with the collective and to bring the messages and to help guide them through any and every situation that they need help and guidance for. If this video resonated, pile 4, please go ahead and hit that like button, share it out, do all the YouTubey things. Make sure that you subscribe to my channel so you don't miss any of my upcoming videos, and don't forget to hit the notification bell so you get notified the next time I upload a video. Like I said in my intro, in case you missed it, I am going on an actual vacation. I do need a vacation, but I am going on vacation for about a week, so it may be a little bit before you hear from me. However, if you book a personal reading, I will try and squeeze it in when I can. Otherwise, it's about a week turnaround time. But I want to say thank you again so very, very, very much. Thank you, thank you, thank you. You guys can do this. You can do this. I believe in you. Believe in yourself. Have that courage to flex with life and the adventures that life offers. I love you guys. I will see you all next time. Bye.